The east coast of the United States may be hit by a major hurricane that just developed today. I'm going to go over the model spread of where the system could go in this video and how strong this system could get and how close it could get to the United States. It's CVS Cyclone, Monday, August 11th, 2025. First of all, yesterday's video was my most viewed long-form video on my channel, so thank you for that. It almost has 100 views, so I'd like to keep that up. I'd like to keep everyone as safe as possible. But starting with Tropical Storm Erin, which just developed today, it currently has 45 mile an hour sustained winds. And over the next couple of days, it's forecast to have a pretty slow intensification, maybe move a little south, or mostly just straight west, but maybe move a little in a little bit of a southwest direction. But then it will likely continue. Maybe by the 13th is when it could start to pick up an intensification in a little bit. About when it intensifies into a hurricane. Keep in mind it could intensify into a hurricane a little earlier than this. And then it should intensify more quickly as the days move along, and it should be our first major hurricane of the 2025 Atlantic hurricane season. However, keep in mind that if it does weaken, or if it does intensify faster, it'll likely stay further away from land. If it intensifies slower, that's when it could be a little more trouble. And then I'm watching out for Bermuda. A lot of the models are showing this coming very close or even hitting Bermuda. Starting with the European model on the system. It's got to load. So they show it already developed here. It'll get bigger as time moves along. And then, I can't really see Bermuda on this map. Bermuda's just so small. But Bermuda did take a hit from Hurricane Ernesto last year. I think Bermuda's right here. And then the GFS model, they go a little further out than the European model. The European model doesn't go out far enough. But the GFS model, they do show it getting pretty close to Bermuda. That is a strong hurricane, and Bermuda is on the bad side of it. So I'll be watching Bermuda very closely. And of course, I'm watching the southeast. The reason, if it intensifies faster, the high pressure will have a bigger influence on it. The Bermuda high, it'll have a bigger influence on it, and it'll start to turn earlier, or might have a tighter turn, rather than if it were a weaker storm. It doesn't have as much of an influence on it, and it doesn't turn as much, which could be a problem for the southeast. And then, of course, I'm watching for the northeast for a system. But also, the Bahamas could get, if it does stay weaker, the Bahamas could get hit. I'm just not sure what's going to happen. Also, Irma was back in 2017. It was forecast to move out, not hit Florida, and instead it hit the Gulf Coast of Florida. It hit the Florida Keys and then the Gulf Coast. So, of course, that could still happen. I'll be watching this system very, very closely. And this is our first system to develop in the main development region of this 2025 Atlantic hurricane season. Disturbance 3, this is literally the only advisory issued on it, and it's only a 0% chance in the next 2 days and a 0% chance in the next 7 days. Exactly why the National Hurricane Center issued an advisory on it, I have absolutely no idea. National Hurricane Center, this was kind of a waste. And then Disturbance 1, which may develop, it is kind of moving in an odd direction for way up there. It has a 10% chance of development in the next 2 days and a 10% chance of development in the next 7 days. I do not expect it to develop. And then Invest 96L, it currently has 30 mile an hour sustained winds, and I do not expect it to develop. It also has a 10% chance of development in the next 2 days and a 10% chance of development in the next 7 days. The infrared satellite imagery for, what storm is that? For Erin, which is the only storm I'm going to be only showing the infrared satellite imagery for. It is, as you can see, a really small system. And then it should get larger as time goes along, and there's nothing really much around it. Maybe some storms to the south, and then the Cabo Verde Islands are just off to the east over here. So be sure to subscribe to get alerts on this system. I will be posting every day for this system. This could be a very dangerous system no matter where it goes. That's it for today, guys. Thanks for watching and see ya.